So today we have an emergency upload. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, just announced its text-to-video AI Sora. And yeah, to say it's a leap forward is an understatement. I want to talk about some of the ideas I've had with the future application of this tech and how it may create a sort of ripple effect throughout the video field as a whole. So the first thing that comes to my mind when I see this is stock footage. With AI trained models, there's always this looming question of licensing. So as of right now, this is all speculation. If you're watching this video, you're probably a video editor or a 3D designer, so you know what the process of putting your project together is like. There's a lot of gathering of different assets before you can even start. Of course, you can make the assets yourself, but if we're talking in terms of time, especially in a production sense, you're pretty limited to assets that you can collect from others. I think something like Sora can give more freedom to the individual who wants to make things at a larger scale. By having control of video data, you're able to tailor things to your liking. There's going to be a lot of insane applications for this, which we'll talk about a bit at the end. For now, I'm going to pivot over to the world of 3D because I think that a lot of interesting concepts arise from this. So here is an article from RadianceFields.com talking about using Sora to create large-scale neural radiance fields, aka NERFs. And if you didn't know, NERF is sort of like the successor technology to point cloud scanning, where you record something, you're able to take that data and turn it into a 3D model. So in this article, they showed how they created this radiance field from the Sora AI example. And quote, "It works on the first try with all camera poses found and trains like any other radiance field." This was taken from a 9-second video. Imagine what you can do with the full 60 seconds. They also talk about automation here and how this will allow for the rapid creation of hyper-realistic 3D dimensional worlds. So this is going to branch out in so many different fields, whether it's video games, whether it's real estate or landscaping, scanning these 3D environments. Another example here is 3D characters. If you're familiar with the scanning process to turn someone into a realistic 3D character, you know it requires these large, well-lit studios with 360-degree cameras gathering every single angle of somebody. With a tool like this, it'll be interesting to see if we can give it a prompt to create 360-degree videos of a certain person or a certain object. We could take that video data, convert it into 3D to create fast characters, fast environments that retain all of those small details. Yesterday, I actually recorded an entire video talking about 3D scanning VFX in music videos. Now, in that tutorial, while I was recording, I had to look for a stock footage shot of just a person rotating in 360 degrees, a very specific thing that's hard to find. Within 24 hours, they announced Sora, and it just made me rethink how a lot of these workflows are going to change from day one. So looping back to my first point, I think that video modification is also very appealing. We've already seen Adobe announce all of their new plans with their Firefly AI, which is trained on their own Adobe stock, to be able to tailor videos to your liking. In the presentation they showed somebody use a lasso tool on somebody walking out of a building. They typed in the prompt, "Give this person a tie," and the AI generation created this tie, which they could change the color of, they could change the type of tie, all fully track, all fully composited to the entire video. So in that sense, it's going to be very useful. We're probably also going to see image to 3D model or video to 3D model, which may cut out the middleman and allow you to just pull 3D data straight out of these generations. So yeah, this could be a game changer. I've already talked about how the Photoshop generative tool is probably the most game-changing tool we've received from Adobe in the past decade. This is only the tip of the iceberg. We're going to see much, much more. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is always a polarizing topic, but I think that no matter what you believe in, it's always a good idea to have your finger on the pulse of how things are changing. From my own personal experience, making something easier doesn't exactly mean making it better. If you take the fastest route from point A to point B, most likely the end product isn't going to be very polished. But on the flip side, I do think that this can be a useful tool, and when put in the hands of somebody who has expertise and when used in the right way, I think that people will be able to make some really amazing stuff. So those are my personal thoughts. We'll just have to see how everything pans out. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting, and I'll see you guys in the next one.